It's been a long and lonely trip, but I'm glad I took it, because it was well worth it. Got to read a couple books and do some research before I reached my verdict. Never thought that I was perfect, always thought that I had a purpose. I used to wonder if I'd live to see my first kiss. The most difficult thing that I did was recite my own words at a service, realizing the person I was addressing probably wasn't looking down from heaven, or cooking up something in a Hell's Kitchen, trying to listen in or eavesdrop from some other dimension. It was self-serving, just like this is. Conveniently religious, on Easter Sunday and on Christmas, the television went from being a babysitter to a mistress. Technology made it easy for us to stay in touch while keeping a distance, so we just stayed distant and never touched. Now all we do is text too much. I don't remember much from my youth, maybe my memory is repressed, or I just spent too much time wondering if I'd live to have sex. I fell in love for the first time in 4th grade, but I didn't have the courage to talk to her. In 8th grade, I wrote the note and slipped it in somebody else's locker. Considered killing myself because of that. It was a big deal. It was a blown cover. It was over for me. My goose was cooked. Stick a fork in me. The jig is up. Blew my chances. The rest is history. Our future was torn asunder. It became abundantly clear I was only brought here to suffer. At least I didn't include my name. Thankfully, I wrote the whole note in code, and it had 10 layers of Scotch tape safety seal, making it impossible to open. Plus, it was set to self-destruct. Whoever read it probably died laughing. I wonder if they lived long enough to realize what happened. A year later, I came to understand that wasn't love that I was feeling for her. I had someone else to obsess over. I was older. I was very mature. I forged my time signature while practicing my parents' autograph because I was failing math. Disconnected the phone when I thought the teacher would call my home. Checked the mailbox twice a day. At the end of a long dirt road, steamed open a couple envelopes like I was in private detective mode. If you snoop around long enough for something in particular, you're guaranteed to find it. For better or worse, that's how I learned it's best to just keep some things private. It was the best of times. It was the end of times. It was the best of times. It was the end of times. It was the best of times. It was the end of times. Best of times, the end of times. I was always on deck, I was next in line. An only child with a pen and pad, writing a list of things I could never have. Walls in my house were paper thin, every squabble seemed to get deafening. If my memory served me correctly and made it a point to avoid and forget some things, probably to keep from being embarrassed. Never meant to upset or give grief to my parents. Kept my secrets, hidden my talents in my head, never under the mattress. Therapy couldn't break me, never learned a word that would ensure safety, so I spoke softly. Then I tiptoed off, and the door to my room was like a big old coffin. The way that it creaked when I closed it shut, anxieties peaked when it opened up, as if everything that I was thinking would be exposed. I still sleep fully clothed. It was the best of times. It was beautiful, it was brutal, it was cruel, it was business as usual, heaven, it was hell. Used to wonder if I lived to see 12. When I did, I figured that I was immortal. Loved to dance but couldn't make it to the formal. Couldn't bear watching my imaginary girlfriend bust a move with any other dudes. Tone Look was talking about a wild thing, but I was still caught up in some child things. Scared of a god who couldn't spare the rod. It was clearly a brimstone and fire thing. Pyromaniac, kleptomaniac, couldn't explain my desire to steal that fire. Now I add it to my rider, like please don't throw me in that patch of briar. It was the best of times. It was the end of times. The school counselor was clueless, cause I never skipped classes. Perfect attendance, imperfect accent, speech impediment they could never really fix. And I fake bad eyesight so I could wear glasses. Consider doing something that would cripple me. Wanted a wheelchair, wanted the sympathy, wanted straight teeth, so then came braces. 4 years of headgear helped me change faces. It was the best of times. It was the end of times. Now I wonder if I live to see marriage. Wonder if I live long enough to have kids. Wonder if I live to see my kids have kids. If I do, I'ma tell them how it is. But don't listen when they tell you that these are your best years. Don't let anyone protect your ears. It's best that you hear what they don't want you to hear. Better to have pressure from peers than not have peers. Bear won't give you chest hair. Spicy food won't make it curl. When you think you got it all figured out and then everything collapses, trust me kid, it's not the end of the world.
You don't have to travel abroad to redeem your CIBC Aventura points. You can use your points towards hotels and car rentals for the perfect weekend getaway. But if your heart is set on distant lands, you can rest easy knowing your points don't expire. So, near or far, travel when it's right for you with CIBC Aventura, the traveler's travel card. Join and get up to $800 in travel value, plus a first-year annual fee rebate. Some conditions apply. Visit CIBC.com/thetraveler's card for details.
Hella good.
It's going down, going down, going down. Are you around? Are you around? Are you around? Are you around? It's going down, going down, going down. Are you around? Are you around? Are you around? Are you around?
Late Friday, mid-80s, some little ladies and some big ladies. It's foam dropping out they mouth from the 40 like it's rabies. They twerking in the whip on the way. It was probably y'all shaking, but it's cracking. Mars pulled up like what's happening. Girls at this party looking bad shit. Crazy how they ass it, but I know that I ain't finna tap shit. Girls don't care about this rap shit, least until you absent. Party in 200 and it's passing it. Think somebody offer me some absent. Still I think for nights like these it's harder to forget. Cause that moment when you laughing with your niggas eating after hours shit. Shoes look not the same color that you bought them. Faded in the summer, I'm a hermit in the autumn. And every girl I know if I'm drunk I'm finna call them. This how it's supposed to go, no problem.
It's going down, going down, going down. Are you around? Are you around? Are you around? Are you around? It's going down, going down, going down. Are you around? Are you around? Are you around?
Tick, tick, tick. They playing bass guy Keith, Future, Stizzy. Shout out to the money from the drugs, Biggie, police, come we running quickly. Wish this girl give me a quickie. Mismatched socks, white tees, I ain't picky. L smell stuck on me like a hickey. If my mom's up, then she probably gon' kill me. Broke a whole vase, smiling hard like Bill me. Silly, Soul Train lying in the sala. Everybody crib is mi casa. Can't find a ride, sleeping on the floor in my boxes. Making hella waffles, manana. This, that shit. Everybody up for a grip at the end of the night, sun lit. And we had a good time. Finna take the bus to the crib, take a nap, and we doing it again.
It's going down, going down, going down. Are you around? Are you around? Are you around? Are you around? It's going down, going down, going down. Are you around? 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 Are you around?
warmed by burning dead bodies, smell of the beast, sun never sets. So all they go walk the streets until the building no longer remains. My people are my people, come as an ally, the line's been drawn. This is my gold tank, everywhere I go I don't belong. Unknown by most, hated by many, adored by the rest. Police a jet skin, I'm so east, but why did I end up on the west? Don't wanna sacrifice my cadence and zen instructor designed by rhymes, etc. Hip-hop music for the advancement of mankind. More than an egomaniac, a sarcastic label for a movement. The wind of change still smells like a million corpses and kerosene marching to burn down the walls in the village and storm the castle. Run up the damsels, take them to the river. Now we can spawn. This ain't pre-millennium tangent. It's the result of too much free time on dusty fingers, and it'll be a wonderful ride. A million bleeding hearts, composing prose and blood to live and die 1,000 times.
Believe me, I've tried, but there's no explaining. Eyes piled up, you look like a painting. Saintly and sexy, the soft-spoken wind blows. Uncertain curtains cover broken windows. In desperate need of safe haven and inflamed, I walk around Paris unshaven and ashamed. 20-odd years since last time I slow danced. Teenage crisis and the end of romance. I see myself in the form of a wolf, furry, down on all fours and worried. Uneven colors and the echoes of fly tones. Connections I've lost in a collection of jawbones. Apples and oranges, you decide which. I'm writing graffiti on Suicide Bridge. I once knew a woman who was clever and tough, who said too much makeup is never enough. Her eyelids were heavy with words and desire. She lives underwater with the birds and the fire. And it just so happens I'm selling my psyche. If you like love, you'll love this most likely.
You and me. Environment to be. That's right. I love you. Whatever partner you do choose, you have the ability to marry her.
I'll never hurt you.
You know, husbands love their wives.
Yeah. Love the woman.
Well, here we are again.
Who's a couple trees treacherous?
I've been patient. Relationships and love.
Be when will you see? Quand viendrez-vous me voir?
Bird girl, sorry I'm too sleepy to make, but the sounds of my dreams always keep me awake. Don't wanna scare the birds away, so I speak soft. Memories like the shows of Vanessa Beecroft. Your bedroom philosophies are so perplexing, but I think these two wooden legs are so sexy. Crimes of sadness, spectacular. You'll be Rossi de Palma and I'll be your Dracula. Vistas of agony decorate a lost room. Shoes by the door, on the floor is your costume. Open the trunk with the car key, the odd way. Love songs, call me the Marquis de Sade, Lord of the Files. You lost me, I wonder how. Midnight, meet me at the entrance for the underground. So many questions, but I'm afraid to ask, though I whisper them to Apollinaire by Picasso. I touch all the flowers and break the chain. I wish I could fly, but I'd rather take the train. And it just so happens I'm selling my psyche. If you like love, you'll love this.
This is for those young male lyrical perps who wanna enter the squared circle with an old pale Urkel, working Birkenstocks with socks, kid, but still pull all the lurking, working girls and hot chicks. Gold watch on your wrist, all pissed, watching me fold any chance you might have had at a tryst. Like, what's this? Hey kids, this song's not for profits, like all but locust honey, long walking and God is, or it is, and that's funny to be rapping for money. So which is or which isn't it? If it ain't dick to make, I'll rock my fake batch of syphilis, which is strictly for pity. But boy, it ain't pretty, the faux rash on my breastplate. I'd ask if this pays, but upper class and rich say broach no cash on a mixtape. It's Goshen that shows distaste. My good tongue displaced and replaced by a hood one like men and mices in these times of economic crisis. I ain't rapping for money, it's God and honey. I ain't rapping for money, locust, God and honey. This is for them young man lyrical parts who volley aimless and anxious between unwell women and works with a less than rented a merc and an ant on their shirt. Ain't nothing perf except for death, vertex and pre-Cambrian earth, but that depends. Why wouldn't it on the caliber of your friends and whether you're guarding lightly in the feeding the man? Wicked sing songs not for profits, like all but locust honey, long walking a god is.